What's up, y'all? I'll start out by saying this. I've had a lot of people over the last, I don't know, weeks, months, years, been asking me to do some guitar lessons online. And kind of busy. Anyway, so I've been real busy over, for a really long time, and it's one of them things where it's something you really want to do, and constantly think about doing. You just never get around to doing it, because it's not a normalcy or a habit or that kind of thing. I don't know, whatever. I'm just throwing stuff out there. Anyway, so for all of you who has been patiently waiting, and for those who may not even play the guitar anymore, oops. Anyway, I'm gonna throw a little lesson up there. It's just basic lesson. Get you going in the right direction, I guess, or in a direction at all. So if you like it, then by all means, take the next step and call me up. We could do private lessons, if you will, or you could wait till maybe I put another video up. Who really knows? But anyway, so here we go. So for you, just start at the beginning. So for you that don't know anything about a guitar, we got the headstock here. This is where the tuning keys are. Tuning keys, they do just exactly that. They it's the keys to keeping your instrument in tune, really. Just the neck of the guitar. That's where all the action happens. Then we got the body, right? That's important. This is where the sound is created. The tone, right? It's a sound hole. The bridge pins. This is the bridge piece. This is actually the tail piece, y'all. This is the bridge piece here. The strings go in here. The pins keep them down. The strings go up here to the headstock. Go in a little hole, wrap around, da 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 da, and there we go. So I think my guitar's in tune. If you want to tune along, if you just want to watch, whatever the case is. Okay, so from the big string to the little string, we got E, A, D, G, B, E. Okay? Most people count the little string as string 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay? So if I refer to the first string or the sixth string, it's the first string, sixth string. Okay? So anyway. All right, so we got 12 notes in, the everyday music we listen to. Of course, there are exceptions because you got other countries, they got other instruments, other scale lengths, levels, and blah, 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 and you got semitones, you got half tones and between tones, and, whatever. Leave it where it is. So to keep this simple, let's keep this as simple as possible. So we got 12 notes, right? We got A. For those musically declined, we're going to start with A. So don't beat me up because I ain't start with C. Anyway, we got A. A string, remember A? We got A sharp. B, C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A. All right, so you got 12 notes, right? Sharps and flats. If you go this way, sharp. If you go that way, flat. You're ascending, it's sharp. If you're descending, it's flat. Who cares? Pick one and get to know it. So it's not that important. So some people like sharps. Some people like the word sharp, so they say sharp. Some people like symbol for sharp, and or flat, like whatever. I like flat because it makes a little B, and my name's Brandon, and you know what I'm saying, like whoop-de-doo. So pick one, love it, like it, learn it, want more of it. So anyway, so we got in music, on the basic of it all, we have major and minor and neutral. Okay. So major, just to touch on this a little bit, major would be referred to as a major chord, or a major third. Okay. So in the list of 12 notes, like as if I got 12 fingers. I don't know what I'm holding my hands up for. So anyway, so we've got 12 notes in music. Okay, so there's 7 modes. Okay, and of course we can get into depth of that later. But for basic sake, they got 7 modes. A mode being, I could describe it like a mood. Okay, like I'm feeling depressed, so I play this mode, or I'm feeling happy, so I play that mode, or you know what I'm saying? Like the modes are kind of like tied to a mood that's tied to like a particular emotional idea, and even tied to particular styles, because those styles are stereotypically keyed upon those emotions. So in other words, Dorian mode is a common mode used in blues, and Aeolian is a common mode used in blues. They're both minor modes, so they be played over minor chord progressions. So so basically, when you play those, okay, Aeolian mode will have like just a basic minor sound. It'll give you just like almost like a pop sound. In other words, if you had say Taylor Swift or Adele, or I don't know, somebody writes a depressing my boyfriend left me, or my husband left me, or whatever song, and it's in a minor key, it's probably Aeolian mode, right? On the other hand, if you got Johnny Lang or Kenny Wayne Shepherd or Stevie Ray Vaughan, they write a sad song in a minor progression that's real heavy and hardcore sounding, kind of darker, on the darker side, like I'm back in the alley somewhere, about to get lit. Well, that's probably in Dorian mode. It's a lot more bluesier sound. I'm not going to get into why. If you want to know why, we have private lessons for that. Because this video would be way too long if I got into all of that stuff. So anyway, to make it as simple as possible, each mode has a combination of notes in it, out of the 12 notes. Okay, so you got these different combinations of notes. So each mode is going to be either minor or either major. Okay, and then there's going to be like a special sound or mood or mode that is encapsulated around that combination of notes. Okay, so to keep it simple, 7 modes. Okay, each mode is going to have 7 scales. Okay, so you have 7 mode names, and then you have 7 scale positions within each mode. Okay, and the scale positions have the same names as the modes do, and they're always in the same order. Okay, and that order is Ionian, Dorian, Phrygian, Lydian, Mixolydian, Aeolian, and Locrian. Okay, always in that order. They're never not in that order. So whatever one you may be starting with, it's going to start there and continue on, because the notes are not interchangeable. The notes are always in the same order the notes are, right? It's always going to be A sharp, B, C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A. right? So if you start on C, then it's going to be C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E, and so on and so forth. Okay, so as far as numbers, that's the letter side of things. As far as numbers, it's always going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so it's always going to be in order. The notes are always in order, going up and down the neck. Wherever they're situated, the notes are always there. So if you change the string to a different note, then it's going to still ascend from that note in order, so on and so forth. Okay. With all of that said, now on to chords. So chords, there's hundreds and thousands of chords and chord variations and yada yada. We ain't going to bother with that today. Today we're going to bother ourselves with the simple pleasure of there only being 5 chord shapes. Wow. Mind blown. Okay. That you're going to use as far as a standard chord. Now there's really 7 chord shapes. Okay, because there's 7 positions and there's a chord for each position that could be played over that position. But talking standard chord, you know, open chords, E major, E minor, C major, G major, D major, D minor, A major, A minor. Okay? I just went through 8 standard chords or 8 open chords, whatever you want to call them. The reason they're called standard chords because you don't have to bar them. Okay? See? But if I move it up, it becomes a bar chord and no longer like a standard chord. You follow me? It's not an open chord anymore. It's called open because I don't have to bar it. See, when I bar it, it closes it. And when I open it, it's open. Do you see what I'm saying there? Okay. So there's open chords, aka standard chords, and then there's barred chords. It's called barred because I got to bar my finger here. Okay? And there's other options besides literally barring your finger across. But again, that's a private lesson. So, standard or open chords. So there's 8 of those that you could play. There's E major. I don't know if you can see that. E major. Got that one, that one, that one. Okay? Then you lift up your first finger. E minor. E major. E minor. Or you can make it like this. It's up to you. Got A major, right? Got, see where I'm putting my fingers at? A major. Right here, it looks exactly like the E major. So if you make the E major, and you drop it all down one string, you got A minor. E major, A minor. Okay? Finger, A major, A minor. Okay? E major, E minor. Okay, then we got G. Okay, got my finger there, finger here, finger there. See that? G major. Okay, you can't make a G minor standard chord. I mean, you can, but it's really awkward and pointless. So don't even bother with it. Then we got C major, right there on the C note, and right there, and right there. Okay? Each finger is holding down one string, one note. Okay? So all the other strings are open and not touched by a finger. Okay? So on the C major, we're not going to hit the E string because it'll make a different chord. So we're going to mute that string with the tip of our ring finger if you want to. And it does that. We'll make a C major. Again, just like the G major, C major don't have a C minor standard shape. So forget that one. Then we got D major. See? Up. Right there. See? And then we're only going to hit from the A string down or up. Okay? We're not going to hit the E string because that would be a different chord. And a really bad one at that. So then, okay, we go from right here, this note, and we do like this, okay? We got D minor, D major, D minor. You think I don't know how to play the guitar? Anyway, so that's the 8 standard or open chords, okay? So everything else, basically, every other chord, as far as a whole picture, big picture, is you'll bar it, okay? So if I make the E major and I slide it up, I bar it. So what I'm doing is this finger is holding down across this one fret all the notes that I'm not pressing down with these fingers. You got it? Okay, so okay. Same thing if I lift up my finger, right? E minor. We got, see, you got my fingers, looks just like an E minor. And then I'm barring right here. See, it's the same shape as E minor, except I'm playing it right here. My finger is pointed at the G, okay? So this E major and E minor is rooted on the E string, on the 6th string. Got me? So when I slide it up from E, F, F sharp, G, G major, G minor, G, G sharp, A, major, A minor, okay, F, major, F minor. It's the same thing with all the other chords, okay? So that's a full chord. So in other words, let me show you what the flip side of this. So I got a C major, right? Okay, so I get a lot of talk about questions about subchords or substitute chords. Okay, like I'm tired of hearing the same old chords. Play something different. Or maybe, I don't know, maybe you're playing country music and it ain't no big deal. Maybe you got a situation to where you got multiple guitar players and you don't want 3 guitar players all playing a G standard chord because it sounds weird, okay? So what do? You play a subchord, okay? So you could break out the capo, and if you don't know what that is, you could ask somebody, or private lesson moment. Okay, so we got a subchord. So I could play my C major. Okay. I can, let's say we got a chord progression with a G, C, and D major. So we got G. All right, so I can do a subchord for the D and just throw it whenever, wherever. It's music, so you want to kind of somewhat be systematic about it. You know what I mean? Like, don't just randomly stick it somewhere. I mean, you can. It's not wrong, okay? But it's more like abstract art. But being music is very systematic. You could either go along with the systematicness, or you can do whatever you want. It's up to you. You're playing it, right? So, but let me tell you this. In a band situation, as a musician, you want to complement the song as best as possible. You don't want to just like play the same stuff in every single song, okay? Because it gets really monotonous. and it becomes more about your limited abilities than it does about the song itself. Okay, and so, and I am guilty of this, as well as every musician is, and I think it's when it starts happening, it becomes conscious that you're doing it. It causes you to either stop playing like your instrument ever again, or learning something new. So I would suggest learning something new if you love your instrument. So anyway, we got C major, open chord. So you can slide it to the D, and it makes a really pretty D chord that you can substitute over a D major. Okay? And that's all I'm going to say about that. If you got other ideas, private lesson. So anyway, let's try it out, see how it sounds. So we got isn't that neat? So it gives it a different sound. You got okay. Or if you want to add your pinky here. Okay. Or you can add a bass note up here. Or you can mute the E string with your thumb. Okay. Also got a sub chord for E minor. Okay, you got that. Or you can do like this. See where I got them notes? You just press them down. Or you can go here. Okay. See where I got them notes at? Okay. It's 2 notes you're holding down, and the rest are open. Okay, so the thing is, just play around with it, man. Get to know it. Get to know the chord, the guitar, you know, everything. When you play a C major, you don't always have to play the same C major every single time you play a C major. You get what I'm saying? Lift up your middle finger. Uh-oh. Maybe add your pinky underneath. Well, your pinky just sitting there doing nothing. See if it could go somewhere and make a different sound. Welcome to a C suspended chord. You can lift up your ring finger. I mean your pointer finger. And make a C major 7. Okay? You can add your pinky here. Or you can lift up your pointer finger and put your pinky finger here. Go. Or you can add the bass note of the G note above it and make a C. Lift up your first finger. You can even lift up and do that. Sounds crazy, but in the right situation, it would be absolutely beautiful. Okay? You can even do this little note here. Okay, so with all of this together, you can make a little melody. You know what I'm saying? Do all kinds of stuff with it. So you just want to experiment, you know, practice your instrument, play it. I can't overemphasize. Listen, playing a musical instrument is not like anything else. Okay? When you go to school, you learn before you do. With music, you do before you learn. You got me? Just start pressing stuff and hit the strings just like you did when you seen somebody that knew how to play the guitar and you was a little kid and you just start plucking stuff and pressing stuff and making sounds, and it fascinated you. hey, do it again. Just be a little more thoughtful with it, right? You could take these 8 standard chords and freak people out with it. You know what I'm saying? You could learn so many songs. And if it ain't the right key, hey, put your capo on it and move it up. Blammo. Every song you can play. So, within reason. So, experiment. Just play. Most of the songs that I learned when I was younger, first started playing, was totally on accident. Just experimenting. I just say, oh, well, here's how to play an A minor. And so I'm like, well, what if I just play it like this? Oh, what if I just play it like this? And then I was like, wait a minute, that sounds familiar. And so I started playing the different notes. I'm like, oh my gosh. You see where I'm going with that? It works, people. Practice works. All right. So real quick before I end this video, because you've done learned plenty enough already, got some finger exercises, okay? Very important with dexterity and muscle control and muscle memory and coordination. Okay, so here we go. You can, some people do it different. You know what I'm saying? There's not a right or wrong way. You could start with a, it's called alternate picking. You go, okay, so you could start going up and then down, or you can start going down and then up. It's totally up to you, whatever. Okay, so that's a little chromatic exercise. Chromatic being, you know, notes all one after another, right? There's no spaces or nothing. It's all chromatic. Yeah. So, it's okay to do every now and then, like in a lick, but you don't want to do it too much because you might get whatever. I was going into a joke and I forgot, so whatever. Epic fail there. So, anyway, so we got major chords, minor chords, right? Major, minor. Okay, and then like here you got major, minor, E minor. That's the A minor shape. We slide it up to E. E minor. Okay, and then we got A major. We slide it up. Okay, and I'm not going to make this chord like this because this is awkward and weird. So I'm going to press down, okay, those strings. And I'm not going to hit this, it's going to be mute, the little E string. Okay? So I got E major. Okay? This is just open. So all the strings are pressed down, little strings muted, little E string, big E strings open. Okay? Now, if I make it like this, or let's say like this, do an A major, lift up your pinky, and that's an A2 chord. A2. It's called an A2 chord, and it's a neutral chord, but it's called an A2 because this would be an A3, which would be an A major third or an A major. This would be, you go from the major third to the down a half step. That would be 3 and then flat 3, okay? And a flat 3 is a minor, so that's what makes the chords minor and major. If you have a major third or a 3, it's a major chord. If it's got a minor third or a flat 3, right? It's a minor chord. If you go even one more, you go major third, minor third, right? Another half step, descending, then it's a 2. Okay, and a 2 is neutral. You could play a 2 over a major third or a minor third, I think. Let's see. Yes, so I could play, if I slide that up, A2 to an E. Ooh, isn't that pretty? That is some sweet stuff. Most of you recognize this song. Y'all recognize that? 80s? The 80s fans out there? There you go. A 2 chord. Isn't it beautiful? 2 chords played a whole lot, especially in Christian music. It's very pretty. So, yeah, major, minor, 2. So there you go. I mean, I hope this has helped you out. If not, then like the video, subscribe to the channel, share it, comment. If you have any questions, comment the question. If you would like private lessons, comment that you would like that, or private message me. I have a Facebook page, Brandon Thompson fan page, and a Brandon Thompson personal page, and Brandon and Grace, which is my wife, our band page, and then our website, brandonandgrace.com. And all of our links are on that page if you would just want to go straight there. Alrighty then. So glad I got to teach y'all a little something. Let me know what y'all think about it. If it was awesome, if it sucked, any suggestions, it's all good. No harm, no foul. Hopefully you learned something. Amen. Awesome. Have a great day.